5:30. All right, let's take the show road. I'd like to welcome everybody to the special meeting of the Board of Trustees of the East School District from November 11th, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. Ms. Barnett, please call the roll.
Commissioner Galvin, Mr. Garza, Ms. Colby,
Yeah.
Ms. Parsons, Ms. Bryant,
Thank you, Mrs. Barrientos.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that we're about to receive. We thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Lord, we pray that you fill our hearts with joy, love, and peace during this holiday season. We pray that you will help us to make wise decisions in leading our community. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Thank you.
I'd like to do now is take a short break, so if I do something to eat, and we'll move on to the superintendent's report after we get our day started. All right, let's take a break at 5:32. All right, I think everybody's got their food. We'll be the meeting at 6. So 5:43. Superintendent's report.
Yes, sir. You will recall last meeting, trustees, we brought you tabulations for the high school track project and recommended for consideration to reject all of the bids that we received. In lieu, the board approved for us to move forward with an interlocal agreement to secure a contract for that work. What we did, the follow-up, is we made all of those companies who submitted a bid aware. The board had rejected those and was going to go through an interlocal agreement and gave them the opportunity to offer a quote through an interlocal agreement for the same scope of work. 3 of the 5 did, and after reviewing those, the team determined that we would go with Manon for the track project. But what we want to do tonight, in light of continued research on what we have available to us for consideration, is some additional information for the board. You won't have to approve anything tonight, but we're looking for a little bit of direction because we do have a couple of different options to consider. With us tonight is Mr. Morgan, who will give the board an overview. But we also have a representative from Banon, who is here to also provide some technical information and answer the question the board has. We also have our athletic director. Not sure if any of you have met her before, Ms. Suzette Ariola. And in addition to that, we have one of our senior project managers, Steve Moore, who will be the project manager over this particular project. And of course, all of them are available here tonight answering questions that the board might have. So, Mr. Morgan.
Okay, board members, if you'll open up your packet, there is a Excel spreadsheet with different options. As Mr. Toscano mentioned, after further discussions, once we determined that Banon was the best value for the district, we had some additional discussions as well as did a site visit and discovered that there's possibly a better value to the district if we went with a different system. So we wanted to be upfront and share what we were able to find out. So on the type of tracks, which we originally bid, was the sandwich system dark gray. That's what we went out to the market with and determined to ultimately reject all those bids. The sandwich system is a little bit different than what Banon would typically do in a collegiate track level or a high-end level track. I have an example here. It's a 2-part system. And so it's comprised of a base level and then the top level, which could be the color. So typically the base level is standard black. On top would be the color that the district color the vendor chooses. Sorry, that the customer chooses. So it is a two-part system. This carries a 5-year warranty.
Can you come over here? You can see, is that the black or the dark gray? The dark gray, you can see the two parts a little bit better. Yes. Correct.
I've got red too, really should.
Oh,
Okay.
Make it a little easier, everybody's eyes.
So this is what they call the sandwich system. Basically, you have your asphalt, and you have your base level, and then you have your top level. And that's what we originally did. Yes. After further discussion, we got Zach.
That has, what kind of warranty in the sandwich?
It's a 5-year warranty on the sandwich.
And when we look here, which one is the cost on that?
For black, it is the very top one, $332,941. For the black, for the dark gray, it's $350,000. So the next level up would be a full bore system. Is this a full bore? It is. Okay. So this is a one-step process. So instead of doing the base level and then coming back to the top level, they pour it all at once.
For all the ones.
Is that correct?
Well, you come in and you put the base layer down, which is like 8 millimeters, which is polyurethane. And it's SPR rubber mixed within it, 20 mesh, very finely ground. And then we come back in with 5 millimeter wear layer on top of it, which is 15 rubber on top of that.
And Doug, you were explaining to me this is a better cohesion or a better.
What it does is, polyurethane will attach itself to the asphalt. So you let that on, whereas with the sandwich, will bind it, so it's like a glue, so it'll glue itself to the asphalt. So that has a chemical bond to it, polyurethane.
And that sample right there, is that a 10 millimeter or a 13?
That's 13.
A 13 millimeter sample. So if we went with a pour in place, one-step process for the 10 millimeter, for the black would be $332,941. So the same price as the sandwich system, but it would also include a 7-year warranty instead of a 5-year warranty. And then for the dark gray, it would be the same price as the sandwich at $350,000, and then it would also include a 7-year warranty. The reason why Doug and I are able to do that is because it's less labor intensive to do the pour system versus coming back twice over the track. Okay. The next step up would be the 13 millimeter pour, which is what the sample of the red one is by Claudia. And that price is increased a little bit for the black at $377,800, and then for the dark gray 404,100,000. But that would include a 10-year warranty. And so if you look at the cost per year for warranty, as you go to a higher level track, the cost per year goes down. So
Let me ask, we are the track shoes, what type of a spike do you use for that particular track? Do we provide track shoes for track?
We do.
We do.
We have a lot of our kids are more than that we do provide.
Okay.
So, in moving, we have different sizes of spikes that we use depending on the event that they run. For us, our kids, we typically are going, look at sandwich first and taking that one, back to, we were in our mind frame back then when we started the process. It wasn't about what we wear on the spikes, because they're gonna wear it on each one, the core or the sandwich. It's even, now the core is going to get a faster track course. Difference, we're just gonna try to put apples to apples. We're gonna run the state meet, and the track that is down at UT where we run state is that
That tractor turns at third spot, it's a 13 millimeter full bore.
And how would you monitor when other tractors come in from other, how would we monitor that, or what tractor spike they use? Oh, we don't-
I think that we don't
We
monitor
don't
it, but
monitor.
with that track, with either one of them, the sandwich or the fourth,
Yeah, okay.
there's not a.
Let me ask you, would a different type of spike damage that truck?
The only thing that we see, in our profession is the high jump, javelin. Sometimes they'll put a 9 millimeter in as opposed to a 7.
Right.
And you will get somewhere where that's
Using that spike,
So,
okay.
the
This is
majority of the spikes we use are 7.
7 millimeters, okay. More, or like an indoor.
But with the way that the high jump javelin's done,
Yeah.
they've got the spikes in their heels
Yeah,
for gripping purposes, basically.
Okay.
They go with the 9, give it a little bit more.
Can we have the sandwiches?
Yes, we do.
Also wanted to bring to your attention, because not only is there a price factor, but if you look at the very right-hand column, there's a lead time. And this is, lead time are typical to a spring or summer scheduled installation. So for the black, it would be 60 to 90 days, no matter what system we go with. And typically for the dark gray, it would be a 30 to 45 day lead time. The hot off the presses,
Well, can you first side by side hold up black and dark gray?
so
okay.
this would be dark gray and this would be black, so very little difference. Of course, when you're side by side, you can see a difference, but as you get further away, you start to see that there's little relationship. And if there's no correlation, like there's no gray track around, then you would think it was just
Yeah, black or dark gray, those are the two. You originally looked at dark gray. So if we're looking at the 13 millimeter option, it's got a 10-year warranty. We were at 332 for the sandwich, 5-year warranty. Go to black, it's, essentially, whatever that adds up to be, $40,000 difference. For double the warranty, the lead time on both of those is 60 to 90 days, which is going to take us a little further potentially into track season before we can have access to it this year. Versus if we went with the gray, you're looking at another $27,000 more than the black, which essentially I'm assuming the difference between gray and black is nothing more than the color if you're talking 13 mil.
True, and in our world, black and red tracks are stock items.
Okay.
So, when we, 95% of the tracks we put in is this color right here. It's just the way it's been, it's kind of like an old cinder track, terracotta is what we call it. We call it red, but it's more of a terracotta. Rubber suppliers that supply that to us, we have bags and bags and bags of those. Now, when we go to a color like the black or the dark gray, and that's a custom color. So what they've got to do is they've got to stop what they're doing and manufacture whatever color we request. So we get our rubber from 2 different suppliers, and the black is fairly new to us. We just found a supplier that'll get us the black EPDM, and so they give me the same price to us as they get. So, which is a good, that's moving forward. We don't do a lot of black tracks just because of heat, but we do, the ones we do are usually school color, where you have an orange, a black, a yellow, whatever those colors are. So that's kind of.
Say that again about the heat.
You know, the darker the track, it's going to absorb the heat a little bit more than the red track,
Okay.
or the lighter track, for that matter.
So you're saying that the gray is just custom, and that's why it's so much different than the white, so custom is white. That's it. Okay. And so we're, we black and red, and hold it again, it's not much difference. And unless you just do the red. Yeah, you gotta get that red also.
Where you'll notice it is outside. Getting underneath the sun, you'll see a little bit more difference in your ear. This is soft white light.
Okay, we got
I did want to mention that, just hot off the presses, Doug, Doug did find some black in their Maryland warehouse. They do not know the quantity of the black, but quite possibly we could tap into that and get a quicker lead time. Also, they expecting a dark gray delivery
End of the month.
end of the month, so that does change the timelines quite a bit, especially if both work out. So I did want to make both of y'all aware of that, or all of you aware of that in your decision-making process.
So you have the board, go with the color?
No, so what we're asking the board is for, I guess, your opinion, because of the different options. I think staff recommends going with a 13 millimeter black as the best value for the district.
Okay.
There was concerns on the lead time and interfering with soccer and delaying track, being able for our track athletes to utilize them this year.
Okay.
Although we have other tracks at Heritage and Legacy that they can utilize, it's an inconvenience. And so, what is the worth of the inconvenience? Is so looking for some opinions, I guess. I know there's not really a difference in durability in either sandwich system or the full pour. So I may have misunderstood them a little bit, but although Banon has done all the Big 12 tracks with the exception of West Virginia and 7 of the SEC schools, they didn't install the sandwich system, they installed the full pour. And so even though it's a collegiate level track, it is designed for everyday use at a high school. Doug was telling me that the Landmark University, Texas A&M, recently put one in, and they have athletes, former athletes who will use it in the morning, current athletes in the afternoon. Yes. And then additional, so there's people always on the track. Probably will get more use than what we would use it because it's year round.
Is there one in Texas?
There's one in Texas as well. It was installed in the late 90s, 98 or 99.
Airport?
Yeah, it's a 2000, but the only difference in the 2000 and 1000 is it, instead of the black SPR, it has red butyl rubber, so it's red all the way through. But you can't hardly tell, but it's a little bit higher performing system than the 13. But we had the 13 at UTSA and Trinity both. Trinity put in 12, UTSA and 13. They both did really good.
Which one are you recommending?
I think the best value is the 13 millimeter, only because of the warranty. Not only is it the 10-year warranty, that for a high school, the life expectancy is 12 plus years before it can then be resurfaced and then get an additional 10 to 12 years out of it. So we're looking at a 20, 25-year track for a few more dollars than the sandwich.
Okay, the gray?
Although we saw a great track in Vernon, Texas, it was raining, so it was difficult to get the full effect of the grade. Unfortunately, there's not a black pour system in this area. I'm sorry, a black full pour in color black or gray, so it's hard to determine what it would exactly look like, but I think we've gone with black. It's our school colors.
Okay.
We know what we're getting. With the dark gray, it is a little bit different, and we've incorporated grays throughout our designs and our renovations and our new campuses. I would think the cost savings on black would be higher.
You all normally resurface tracks and all that stuff. Is it any different during the summer or when it goes?
It used to be that way. Now it's 12 months a year.
It does.
We do a lot of work. Here's what happens to us a lot of times. Let's just say we're doing a football field track project together, doing both of them. Football obviously goes in first, because they gotta have an August 1. If there's any kind of hiccups or anything involved in that process, it may bump us back. And we need 3 to 4 weeks with good weather to put this in. Well, a lot of times it'll end up about the end of July, and they're like, we got to be on football next week. And I'm like, no use in us starting, so we have to come back after the season, which is now, because playoffs start this week. So that happens to us quite a bit. More than you can imagine. We've had some rainy seasons the last 5 years, a couple of them for sure, which has pushed us back. So what it's done to us in Texas and in the South, where we used to do minimal work in November, December, we're jamming. We're going pretty full blast.
I didn't know there was a particular better time to do a track resurface versus supposed to get Texas heat or.
Yeah, weather has a lot to do with it. We're kind of 50 and above to do work for the earthing to set up. And in the summer, it's not a problem because it will set up almost too fast. It'll set up kind of within a half hour. If it's 100 degrees on 140 degree asphalt, it's going to go fast. So our guys got to continually keep that stuff going. This time of year is a little bit better, a little bit cooler. It's a little bit easier to install because you don't have to be in such a hurry to try to beat the heat. But it's changed our market a lot because we do a lot more work down here and in the south, Florida, some other places. November, December.
The warranty, what, is it like a limited warranty or is it a full, what does it cover?
Well, it won't cover us misuse.
Right.
Doug, do you want to?
Yeah, it's basically, what we try to do, and it's gonna be called out in the warranty, and we can get you a sample one to look at. But, acts of God, trees falls on or something like that, we're not gonna cover that. We do cover, like one-time start areas, takeoff boards, pole vault areas, we'll come in and do that one time for free. And then if it's a material defect or something that you guys feel is ours, then we're gonna have a meeting, we're gonna look at it, and then we're gonna decide.
On that one free shot, is that at our determination?
It's on your
or-
determination, within that 10-year warranty.
The line does not cover under the warranty. They do 1 year on the paint. It's typically, depending on the use, is a 3 to 4 year turnaround before the lines will need to be repainted. Also, depending on the color of the lines. But we're looking around $8,500 to restart our track, or the track that we're looking at. So
You mentioned the start area. So do we need a certain type of starting block or what?
No,
Okay, so
no,
the starting block
it's more,
that we have is where?
it's more the athlete coming out,
No, that's more, that's.
they're stepping. Because
Of
what we,
driving off?
right, what we try to do is try to get people to move them around a little bit, and understand, when you got over drill or something like that, they got to start from that starting line. But if they're doing just regular starts, then we try to move them around some lanes to where they don't repetition at the same place every day.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for that.
also included was alternate 1 and alternate 2 from the bids. We were going to move forward with power washing the concrete curtain around, it's about 3 foot that surrounds the entire track. It needs some attention, so we're going to include that, as well as moving the pole vault box back away from the starting line a little bit, about 10 feet, just to make it a little safer for everybody involved. So we will include those in this bid.
And I have a,
This is an appropriate question, but as far as safety is concerned, durability and safety of that, is that fairly applicable?
On the sandwich system and the full board, and so I directly asked Doug that question as well. And there's no research to support that it's more injurious track, or the frequency of injuries occurred more on either system. And so they're pretty equitable. Although the sandwich would seem to have a little bit more cushion, there's no research to indicate that it's more injurious.
now we have had schools, and I'm gonna give you 3, Carlton State, and Corpus Rice, have elected to go with the sandwich over full board because it's soft, and they're distant schools. So they wanna have a little bit more resiliency because they don't have a lot of strength. So they elected to go with the sandwich because it is a little bit soft. That's an owner's, we offered them both too. We went for both of them with all of them. And now we want to get the sandwich because it's a little bit soft. And the other thing that I want to bring up now, not later, is typically when you pull off the old track surface, we will send one of our site superintendents out to look at the asphalt and check the planarity. And if you're going to do a full pour, then we have to level it out with 2-component polyurethane. And that stuff's fairly expensive. It's $2,500 a drum, which is 55 gallons. I mean, we went anywhere from 2 barrels to 25 barrels. It just depends. We can't really tell because we didn't put in the original tracks. I don't know how much you know, that, with that track, SPR rubber, a lot cheaper than polyurethane. SPR rubber's about a quarter of a pound. Two-component polyurethane is about 60. So when you gotta level out using two-component urethane, it's a little bit more expensive. But in order to keep the drainage, the 2% slope coming from outside to inside, we gotta level it out. Because we don't wanna have pass on the track. So just wanna make you aware of that. If you are leaning toward a full pour over sandwich, we gotta, that's the decision that we will make. We will show you the areas that are low, and we will identify them, and then we will give you a cost to fix those low spots.
Are there any barrels included in the price?
No, I did not do that, no. Because I didn't want to confuse it any more than confusing me, let alone you guys.
So historically, Doug, is there, how much?
Usually, it's 3 to 6 is kind of on a high school track because they're a little bit smaller. That's kind of what we've seen. But it's kind of lower. It's usually 7,500 to 10,000 is kind of where we're out. We're not going to be out there trying to make money, okay? We're trying to get out there, fix the really bad spots, level it all, so we can come in and we're coming in to do the track that is ready. And we take care of the retention, which you can really come back and say, that's perfect. We want to eliminate that before we do so. That's the one downside to a full bore is the fill factor. But we're going to know that. That's another reason if you want to go full bore, we would probably try to pull that off as soon as possible so that we can get somebody out here, look at it, and check with an area, check for those spots so that we know how much we're looking at, how much we got to fix, and get it back before we even start.
So say if we went that way and we came in and moved it so that we evaluated, and we had to wait the 40 to 60 days or more until we got the color in and pour it. Being the weather is who's responsible for anything that happens in between that time that we're waiting for the pour to come in. Would the weather disturb the foundation?
We've had, like my previous example where we talked about asphalt's in August, ready to go. 4 months later, we get on the track. So it is literally an asphalt surface all through foot. And it's nothing's fancy. It's not a road, but it's similar to a road. So it's not.
So once you come in and do your part there, and you have that waiting period of time, would we be able to utilize the field?
Yeah, as long as we're not on there, you can use it. But if this thing, and I'm gonna know more tomorrow, but if this thing, you guys tell me this is what we want to do, A, B, C, especially black, because I think we've got black road, which is monumental because that was not in the equation last week. So what happened to us, which Matt was talking about, we go job to job to job to job. So some of them get back. So we had one get backed up 2 months. So that rubber's sitting in the warehouse. How much of it, we don't know, but we can replenish it by the time, this one already started. So it may be a win-win for you if you go black.
Any other questions?
Speak out there. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Great
Mike,
job.
Matt, sorry guys, the back of the first, I just noticed this was stapled to it. Here's a aerial image. There's one spot on here that I'm going to touch as part of this. And that's the B zone under which the band bleachers are on. And that's because we intend for the band to continue to be there unless we do a stadium renovation, which is not anything we're talking about at this time. So, am I correct, Matt? Doug, we're talking about everything to include the B zone on the, right, on the south side, and we're talking about that yellow boxed in area behind the end zone on the north side. Why is that boxed off?
So anything in the yellow is included.
Okay.
As far as the zone, anything out of the yellow is not included.
So
So the wings where the two portable bleachers are, or not? That's not.
Yeah, the reason we did this, you can't move those bleachers. You can, but it's not, it's cost prohibitive because it's not used for any track. And then this was already black, so the long jump and triple jump are as it is. And then we'll take this part off, do down, because these are non-competition areas back here. So they're not.
So, I'm just talking. So those, bleachers, what does this say? What's the service underneath? What's the service underneath?
The previous sound system.
The previous service.
Right.
So you're not gonna.
No, sir.
Okay.
The expense of, and the labor of removing and then reinstalling the feature was
No,
pretty significant.
I got you.
So, we possibly discussed putting up some screen, some wind screens, some decorative wind screens to kind of block off that area. We haven't made a final determination on that, that's a possibility. So this area would be the surface, this area would be
So let's say
untouched.
we go black and we get there, we do all of that.
The whole
This
dress.
right around the bleachers with
This
our
area would be
board. Is there a way to paint the surface or?
Yeah, you could put some kind of,
Your recommendation.
I don't know what it looks like.
it's not, I mean,
The 13 millimeter.
It's gonna be all
It's all the 10-year warranty.
That's 10 years, anyway.
we'll take a look at it.
2-year warranty.
Yeah, the other difference between those two is the color. So the
That's
color
together,
is,
after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As a portable bleacher.
yeah.
When they order it,
I called them.
Once we make the determination,
It is?
the order gray, it'll take 30 to 45 days to come in because they have to make it.
Well, this is
The rainbow, well, he's got some in the warehouse, in black already. That's something that somebody else is not using at this time. He just gotta check that out.
It's not competition.
So we might be able to track down the way it's going.
Saves the cost of the program.
No, yeah, I'm saying, that's right, we had talked about
Alright,
signing on it.
everybody done?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
We want item B. Gas, school update. Superintendent.
All right, Mr. President, trustees, we're several months into the planning of the Cassidy campus, and we're getting increasingly closer to beginning our normal recruitment, et cetera, because we'll be opening with that first class of freshmen this fall. And so what we wanted to do tonight was bring the board an update of what's going on since the last time we formally discussed our CAS program. So the board has got the most current information, as well as, after this meeting, we're going to begin some more aggressive communication about this school, about the timeline, about the programs of study, about our industry partners. While some of that information is out there, and Dr. Fuller's been doing a lot of work on the streets and in the city, we haven't formally begun anything until we've got y'all's blessing to be able to say, we like where we're going, or here's a couple other things to think about. So shortly after today, with your direction, we're going to get really formal and aggressive about our next steps. So, Dr. Fuller?
So, like Mr. Toscano said, just some updates on what we've been doing. Yes, I feel like I've been eating, breathing, and sleeping CAS lead since July, but it has been so much fun. And I just want to say I'm proud to be a part of this project, and it's just really super important. And I'm glad to be a part, that it's a part of ECISD. So, So we currently have 18 active industry partners, and I've met with each one of them individually. On top of they participate in our advisory board, which means monthly. What's really neat is sitting down and meet with each of them. I could kind of see what their motivation was for joining CAS Lead, and they've just offered some really great insight to the program design. On top of, I've gotten to participate in community events and get our name out there. I'm on the San Antonio Lowdown Lodging Association Education Committee, which I never knew existed. So just some different opportunities that has kind of evolved. So the advisory board, we meet once a month. We met at CASPET and CASMED. And then in November, later this week, we'll meet at CASTEM. That was a request of industry. They wanted to kind of see the CAS design. So they wanted to see the schools, and we said we hosted our meetings there. And the other principals were able to kind of talk about their experience in the design. We also talk about project-based learning and potential topics that are relevant to our kids and student skill set. In the design year, we'll meet once a month, and then after that, it'll be 4 to 6 times once the school is up and running. They provide ongoing feedback about school design, curriculum, projects, and student experiences. The student experiences are really important. Also, what's neat about it is they commit to interviewing our students upon graduation. That doesn't mean they necessarily get hired, but they're at least getting that interview experience. So the advisory board, they're the broad. So they do the broad topics. That or they appoint somebody or the right person to the design team. So the design team is a little bit smaller. Sometimes there's multiple members, so you may see HED on here twice. But there's different people participating in different roles. So the design team's a little different, but they're smaller. We're gonna meet at least 10 times or more as needed. They're the ones, the design team's gonna roll their sleeves up, get down in the nitty-gritty. They're gonna see the details of the projects. They're actually gonna develop the student experiences, which includes the summer bridge. The summer bridge is during the summer, all our incoming ninth graders will do a week-long mini project, and they'll be able to explore each pathway that we'll offer. They'll get to team build with students that they're going to go to school with and the teachers. So it's kind of neat because industry really takes the lead on that, and they're the one that builds the actual student experiences out. They'll determine certification, any higher education opportunities, and then they'll take design recommendations from the advisory, and then they're going to turn into an actual instructional space, so like how it looks inside the classroom. So a couple of documents that are in there. The probably most important one right now is student recruitment, and it's a timeline. So there's some of the events that I've already attended, and then some of the future timelines. One of the ones, what was so important about getting this information is we're hoping to go live with the application mid-December. And we're using a program called School Mint, but it'll go out via our website. And so we're going to have lots of communication after tonight about how that process looks. The next one is the flyer student interest form. So these are just some samples of some of the forms that you are going to see in and around the community. And what's nice about the flyer is it kind of talks about what a CAS lead student would look like. So I think that's really important.
I still have a quick question. So if our intent is for the application to open or go live in December, when do we think that first run of the lottery, if you will, and sending out of acceptance letters, when is that first run?
So the deadline for applications is January 31st. And then we give them basically a month to accept the offer once we run a lottery. We'll run a lottery if we have over 150 students apply. The goal is 150 students. They have until February 28th to accept the offer. Once they accept, registration will start the very next week so they can actually register to enroll.
So when we go live in December and start to really push out communication, I just wanted the board to understand that it's a good 2 months window for them to kind of decide that they want to apply, to learn more about the program, and it gives us time to really get the word out. cetera, before we actually then give them a notice that they've been accepted, and then they have another month to actually accept it. So we want to build in adequate time for both communication, initial decisions to consider, and then some more time to wait to really formally accept.
And the point is on this information flyer is a QR code. So if somebody's interested and want more information, they can just, it's a really simple form they fill out, and I can contact. Because if a parent's interested and they're interested in trying to go to high school, I'll definitely do that. Or if they have any questions. So I'm here, I'll answer any questions they have. So I just wanted you guys to kind of have that information in case you do.
Sorry, I have a question on the information session. Maybe you're having two months of
How would you get
Outside of the district, how do we get the information?
So we are our website, social media, but I'm also attending events like Girls Meet, Workforce STEM, anything that touches like a middle school student. We're going to attend on weekends just to really get the word out there.
Now, every cohort, the commitment is that half the seats are guaranteed to go to some tri-state students, the other half are open. What other campuses have experienced is that the interest from outside the district, at least initially, is relatively small. And so if we don't have large enough number interested from outside the district, then we'll see a lot more of those seats go to interested ECISD students. Talking to Dr. Fuller and the group, we've also felt like this area of the city extended to our neighbors in more rural areas is an area that we want to hopefully encourage folks to be interested. And so we're not targeting, while we're communicating in all different ways all over the city, we're hoping to really connect with school districts to hear all out around the city. I don't know where to go, sorry.
We're a little bit smaller, we don't offer pathways that we can offer. And so my plan is once we go live, to meet those individuals. So in the design process, we asked the designers, other planners, that speak here tonight to show off their plan. But she's just an additional resource that can work with our current resources to help design. I've also linked in some of the pictures of CastNet and CastTech, and you can kind of see and get a feel of the unique design to each industry that they serve. So of course, it's got a little bit of a CAST look, but it's unique to the actual industry. So like for hospitality and tourism, some of the ideas you're thinking is more inviting, like when you're coming in and making a hotel. So that's just some ideas. Also, working with HEB Digital on the e-commerce side, they have a tech hub in Austin. So we're just kind of looking at some of those designs. So we're still currently designing on that. So what I can guarantee, the casted experience for students is unique. They have lots of student voice and student agency. They have innovative instructional delivery that's going to be facilitated through project-based learning. There is, I would say, 50% industry integration, and where we're going to really challenge them with real-world applications. So that's going to create a very authentic learning experience because it's going to be very student-driven. We're going to teach them about collaboration and teamwork. And as juniors, we're going to look at intern and externships. So with that, I put in a draft for your plan. Kind of how it looked. This has a lot of detail detail in it. We're gonna clean it up, we're still working on it. But this is basically the nuts and bolts of a student. So as a sophomore, they're gonna really start to identify which pathway. And then dual credit, all the additional opportunities will start as a tenth. So this is what I thought was kind of interesting. DEA sent me a spreadsheet with our region's salaries and education requirements for certain jobs in our pathways. So I selected jobs in working with industry of some of the ones that we talked about quite a bit in our area. So this is what I think is going to be retail. A big part of it was about the transportation and logistics. So we built an initial 4-year plan that wasn't on there. And they're like, how are you going to move your stuff? And it's relevant to each pathway. So now as an elected, you'll see that principles of logistics, transportation is now an option for our kiddos. When I looked, I was like, wow, 97,000. That's pretty good for a high school diploma or equivalent. So if we can match them and provide specific, student skill set to a company, that's a pretty good salary. So hospitality, tourism, these are just some of the salaries, education needs, jobs. The reason I included desk clerks, in meeting with hotel, they feel very underrepresented, so they're so excited to tell their story. And in those stories, I found that a lot of them started as a desk clerk, or started catering. And they say it's one of the fastest way to move up. There's over 85 positions in the hotel. It's just really neat to see. So there's a wide variety of things that come with management and hospitality.
When the city said it only working overtime. It's like 1 out of 7 or 1 out of 8 or something.
1 out of 8 are employed by hotels in the Toledo area. So, e-commerce, and I must say, every time I talk about it, I feel a little proud because we're the first school in San Antonio to have a pathway in e-commerce and the state of Texas. And so we're going to be the model. So I'm working with HB Digital to kind of build out that pathway, but the sky is the limit. And you think about all of the things that you do online, including, banking, we just going to have so many opportunities. So HB will actually build a tech hub here in San Antonio over the next couple of years. And our e-commerce students will report so it's just an amazing opportunity. So yes, I'm proud to say that we're the ones who are championing this. So these are a couple of websites. So past schools, you can kind of see some of the other past information. We have our Cassidy website. It's still a work in progress, but I'll definitely let you know when it goes live, and we're going to shoot out all the information. If you can, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and then just share. We found that just sharing alone really gets the word out there. And I also included the student interest code if you have anybody that has any other questions that I can follow up with, they can fill out that form.
The CAS network is hiring a marketing communication employee soon just for CAS. Keep in mind, affiliated with it. The network is funded essentially was Charles Butt's brainchild. Previous to this, they tapped into the resources that HEB has for marketing and communication. So that was one aspect of what's going to support our efforts to communicate. But as we all know, we now have our own communications director. Of course, they've been working very closely together to prepare a comprehensive communications and marketing campaign, if you will, that is multifaceted, right? Through website, through social, through all the different ways that we can communicate, and then monitor on the back end that it's being effective with the data analytics on the back end. So we're pretty excited. We think we've got a good plan. We're working really hard, of course, really harder on this than Dr. Fuller for the district. And so we just wanted you guys to be up to speed with the latest information regarding the planning of our launch next fall. Dr. Fuller and I would be happy to answer some questions.
I got any questions? No? Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll move on to the afternoon agenda. Item A, approval of the architectural design, construction, administration services, capacity and renovations. Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, sir. So you heard Dr. Fuller reference a cast school and the way that it looks, but also that it's very customized to speak to the very specific industries that it's going to be serving. And so part of the intention behind the money that was given the district, $2 million that was given to the district, was intended to be utilized in a way that would support that renovation of the facility. In our particular case, we've done light renovations as part of the bond program out of fund balance. So our facility's in really good shape. It's a clean palette, if you will, right? For us to then begin to add to it what we need to begin to reflect a CAS school that is focused on e-commerce, retail, hospitality, and tourism. And so we've been in conversations with the CAS folks. Heather Plank is their designer. We do believe that we're going to exceed easily $50,000 in scope, which means it requires board approval and requires an architect. And so what we're going to be bringing to you tonight, and Mr. Morgan will speak a little more technically about it perhaps, but I'm going to get on that shot here, Mr. Morgan. If you want to engage an architect to work, to employ the designer from CAS to work together with our team and with the CAS leadership to begin to iterate the possibilities for what we will do. We'll say that many of the things that we've been discussing thus far, if you go into a CAS school, you're going to see wraps over the glass. You're going to see signage with quotes that inspire and connect to some of the influential people in those sectors, maybe in the city of San Antonio or historically. So it really speaks to these three sectors of these industries, but also begins to have a very common feel. The other things that we've noticed is, when you go into these facilities, the minute you walk in, you get a sense of the industries that are being served. So if you were to go to CAS Med, you walk in the front office, you get a sense that you're in a high-end private clinic reception area. So it doesn't look just like a school reception area. It assimilates its function, but it's got a different feel. You know you're in a space that's got to be serious about medicine. In addition to that, we know that the first area of the campus that we're going to utilize is the area that's closest to the police department. It's the newer wing, if you will, John Glenn US. We need to retrofit some of those spaces to bring science labs back up to the standard that we would need for high school courses. We know we can do that. We know that again, with signage and wraps and some paint colors, that we can get the look and the feel. But then outside of the entrance area, you got to look at common gathering spaces. We have a library there that is a perfect space to invent possibilities for convening students. One of the things that's very common in these schools is you constantly have industry leaders coming in and talking to the kids, because we want the kids to hear all of the possible ways that they can pursue careers in all of these sectors. They want to talk to people in real time and regularly about the things that they do, how they got there, the earning potential, the continuing education opportunities, etc. So you would need some sort of a common gathering space possibly. So looking at that space is something that we've talked a little bit about. We've also talked about the cafeteria. Hospitality and tourism is a big industry. Culinary arts and the food service industry is a really big sector in the city of San Antonio. And so we had previously, when we were talking about, John Glenn talked about the kitchen. It would be a student kitchen. It's different than the commercial kitchen in the high school. And so looking at that and revisiting that are also some possibilities. And then looking at the exterior of the building, are there any areas you can host events and convene the community of students and families and industry partners in the back of the school? If you've been back there, you know, the stairway going down out in the vast area with the oak trees, I mean, that whole area adjacent, you know, coming out of the building and then surrounding is really an area that is exciting to the Cass folks, because none of the other schools have something like that. So there's tons of possibilities. I say all that to say that our intention is to engage the team with the architect, to put some possibilities together, to come back to the board and say, you know, here are some things that we think we need to do right now. Here are some things we aspire to do at some point along the way. And so maybe it'll look like, you know, here's package 1, here's package 2, here's package 3. Get some feedback, some projected cost possibly, to get some direction from the board about what we think we want to do now. But then we want to help us all have a vision for where we want to get to, right? We know we're only going to have 150 kids max first year. It's going to be 4 years before we have 600 in the building, right? And knowing that, we know that we don't have to do it necessarily all at once. We also know that the $2 million is not all here right now. It's about $1 million and then 3 installments of $333,000. So we don't have that amount of money to put into the programming right now. We don't think that we intend for it all to go to facilities by any means. But all of those things play into the thinking here. We're just going to put some things together, present some concepts to the board, just potential costs, get some direction, and then we'll come to the board thereafter with an award delivery method recommendation, because then we would need to go to market, calculate some bids, make some recommendations, and hire a contractor to get the work done before we open in the fall. Again, we just want to bring a lot of options to the board. The option is to decide what we want to do now, but give you a vision for what's possible over time. So if all that makes sense, or anything you can answer, or I can answer, or management we want to add to what I just shared before we talk about what we're considering.
You know, the advantage that it is in corporate works allows us time to make adjustments to the design as we go along the process. Currently, the building that we're discussing is unoccupied, so we can start sooner than this summer, and so we have a lot of possibilities. Excuse me, to make a really good facility and to sell the program not only to our community but to other communities.
President, I recommend board approval of contracting with Wonka Sturrock Architects.
Talks a little bit about the procurement of architects. It's a little different than the other services. Okay. So the district is needed an architectural firm to provide design and construction and equipment service for the work related to gas station renovations. Under Texas law, and centralized board policy, competitive bids shall not be solicited for professional services or any licensed or registered certified public accountants, architects, landscape architects, land surveyors, physicians, optometrists, professional engineers, state certified or state licensed real estate appraisers, or registered nurse. Contract for these professional services shall be made basis on the demonstrated competencies and qualifications to perform these services at a fair and reasonable price. Staff is recommending Wonka Sturrock Architects LLC to provide these architectural design and construction integration services for work related to gas renovations. The district has worked with Wonka Sturrock on several projects in the past, and the fees for their services will be based on the basic fee schedule for architectural services that was previously adopted by the board. In your packet is the fee structure that was adopted in 2023 by the board then for the cost of services for architectural services. We looked at this fee structure with, well, yourself with the fee structure, when we were going for a bond, and we still feel that it is a current market value rent. So with that being said, are there any questions?
Sir, I recommend board approval, contract with Alondra Sturrock Architects LLC for architectural design and construction administration services related to Cascade renovations.
We have a recommendation for the approval of architectural design, construction, and administration services, Cascade renovations. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Lino, a second. Second from Mr. Wilkie. Any further questions, comments, for hold the peace? All in favor? Aye. All against? Motion carries. Action agenda, item 5, adjournment. Anything else to say? Anybody? I would like to say thank you all for all the hard work that y'all put this together. Appreciate y'all coming here on this cold and chilly night. So everybody get home safe. Here, bring in the plants and the kids. Don't forget the kids. Yes, sir. Yeah. We have a motion for adjournment. So moved. Have a second. Motion carries. By unanimous consent. We're done.